Yeah, on my levels here, I don't have us like stopping until like 25, 433. That's my real area of like concern. Yeah, I didn't catch it either myself. Okay, now this is on. Let's go with the YouTube. The tool stream up on YouTube. Let's double check. Otherwise, I have to put the disclaimer again. Put the disclaimer just to be on the safe side. There it's shown, and now it's gone. Well, this is going to be an insane Monday. What a way to start the week. Might as well get to 400. That's a psych level now. Holy moly. There's that next leg up. Let's go. Man, the Bears are getting smoked today. Oh, man. Don't even say that, Aaron. I'm sorry, bro. Oh, sorry. Sorry, bro. You're still riding with me, Aaron. That was your runner, wasn't it? Oh my God. Was that did you get stopped out or did you just take profit on it? At least say you got stopped out. At least if you got stopped out, then you followed your plan. That is your saving grace on that. Because if you just closed it, well, I'm not saying after that. We're not talking about that. You never did. You know what? You're not a schmuck, dude. You know what? I mean, I give up that kind of stuff. You know, it's either you just gotta take it, you know. Sometimes that's a trader's like most difficult thing is that, you know, you can't look at other traders like profits. Like that's a big like that's a big no-no for me, you know, as I don't like to look at what other people are doing and you know focus on their gains because those are their gains, they're not your gains. So you can't really do anything about them, you know, other than if they're better than yours, strive to get to that, you know. Look, speaking of gains, there's Steve there. Man, what's he talking about? Why is he showing up with that? Why is he showing up with that? Is that a zero DTE? Tell me that's a zero DTE. I don't know why he's gonna come in here with that. I'm not gonna post mine. I'm not gonna post mine because yeah, it's unrelated indices. So not gonna lie, I'm playing options today. I'm not gonna lie. But we're not talking about that. Yeah, we're not talking about that. I'm waiting for a decent pullback to the 26 so I can try to take a trade on this. Which I messed up. It was at that 1030 spot when I was talking about it. Instead of talking about it, I should have been about it. I should have gotten in right there. That would have been my perfect entry for the lunchtime show. We'd be just vibing, talking about my trade. So don't even feel bad because look at me. I missed the boat completely. He probably was. It's addictive. Mike's got some crazy price action. And then seeing him take those crazy gains like live, whoo, it's crazy. Oh, wait, you know what? I can do this right here. We're gonna be in a competition today, Steve and I, trying to see who's gonna milk this for the highest gains for the day. That'd be kind of cool. I'd be down for that. I don't know. Steve and I have had some bangers though. I don't know. I don't know what his highest percentage win is though. That's what I would be interested in. Expert risk managers are dangerous. Oh man, I don't know. You know, it's just so cool that, once you really start to understand the market, it becomes like a wrench. Because then you're like, you know what you have to buy to make a certain amount of money. And you know what you're looking for then. I'm looking for this setup to do this, to get this amount of points. And if I buy this amount of contracts, I'll make this amount of money. I know, like me, I like a sell off because I know if we sell off into the close, there will be a crazy rebound at the Sydney Open. I know exactly what that is. I know what that trade is, and I know what it takes for us to have it. So if I look for that, boom, there's that pattern recognition that I recognize, and then that's what I attack and I go for. So that becomes like, I think, a cool, outlook on the market that, as you're sitting here learning, you'll start recognizing stuff like that. And then you'll know how to take the trade and how to balance it and what you're looking for to identify the pattern that you're expecting to play out on the market. But that's an easy way that you can manage your risk as well, because then you can look at it in that scope of how much exposure you have to the market. Going back to the mini micros, you trade the micros, and that $1,500 is only $150, and you're like, okay, now you give yourself some time. Well, we're not running out of steam here on NAS. 7, 8, 9. We might get a little bit of a pullback here into New York lunch. It'll either be a nasty pullback or it could actually just rip through from New York lunch. You won't have very much in the way then. Yeah. That's the cool thing about like levels like this though. It's easy to identify where the resistance is. We don't always get lucky like this. So did anybody catch the NFL game, the Super Bowl? Everybody see the Seahawks Patriots game? Man, what a boring first half of the game, right? Man, that was insane. The Seahawks dominated the Patriots. That was just, oh man, it was crazy. Right? The field goal kicker. Yep, exactly. That guy was a real deal, man. Then it was sad because the Patriots didn't wake up until the third quarter. And then in the fourth, when they finally really did wake up, it was like, dude, where have you all been, man? The game is over, bro. Oh my God, what is the Super Bowl? Exactly. He started playing like those last like 10 minutes, like with all his heart. And it was like, wait a minute, dude. Do you know how far your deficit is? Like, you've literally got like 4 minutes left, and what do you think is gonna happen, man? You're gonna pull out like 21 points to save you? No, man, no. Here's your card. That's a crazy Super Bowl. Oh, there's that volatility here in the New York lunch. Oh, so you got that big step out of volume. You got those institutional buyers step out and they just let retail just have at it. That probably would have been a good spot to add in right there. Let's just see how much further we dip. Let's see if we get below that 380 mark. Let's see if they can drag us, pretty low into that. I'd imagine that they would, just to kind of shake off some buyers, kill some stops, kill some people that just barely trying to get on this train. Yeah, it's super funny. Like we use like IPTV and stuff, and I hadn't realized that my I had the channel set to Canada, so we were watching the game in Canada. So all the commercials were all like Canadian for like the first quarter. It didn't make any sense at all to us. It didn't make any sense. I mean, everybody here was just like, we're some interesting commercials. You got your stop at 358 right now, just trailing upwards with it. Okay. All right. So you're 358. Wow. That could be really interesting right there if we get under there. We could get down that low. We haven't broken below the 26 since 9 a.m. So the last, 10, 11, hour and a half. Last time we touched it was almost like right now. 38, 21, 7. Mm. Oh, gotcha. My entry is, let me see where it is. What did I enter in on this in relation to? $76. My entry is right here. I went long roughly at 25,064. That's my entry for the day right now in my cash positions. I gotta wake up early. Oh, I got cut though. I'm not gonna lie. I got caught because in the morning I went short. So I actually started off a little down. So I got stuck in this when it went down, and then it started to pull back. It pulled back so aggressively on me. I was down, and then boom, I flipped. I was able to catch the long, and that's why I'm right in here, because I was trying to catch the trend. I had a funny feeling we would have a trend day. I just wasn't sure if we were gonna catch that upward trend. And I should have went with my gut early on was to the upside. I would have been in with a much larger lot size too if I would have caught it right. Because I ate into some of my capital because of that. But just the way you take the market. So the way I'm looking at this is like my line in the sand for me would be 354. I think that's what you see. He's at 354 at 358. And that would be mine too, because that's that 4 hour support resistance. So I just don't want to see it dip below that. And it gives the NAS enough room to dip into the 26. Because right now that's what's working right now on my chart. There are your points right there. And I know it should hold up for about that trend can hold up to like 3 to 4 hours. So we started that at about right here, 9. So we're barely like almost 2 hours into it. We'll see though. Well, we're 6 minutes into New York lunch now. Is this stream started on this? I don't even see it. I don't even see it on YouTube. Mm-mm-mm. Is that too high of a bit rate or what is that? Hmm. Yeah, for some odd reason, the other one isn't started. No, it's really strange. Okay. Yes, absolutely. We live here Monday through Friday from open till about what time is that? 2 p.m. Eastern, I believe. Yes, 2 p.m. Eastern. So we stream all the way till then. There's like about an hour break. If the market is really going, you might catch Coach Matt or Coach Becky step in a little bit early. So you've got Mike at the morning. He does the pre-market from 8 a.m. CST till about 10 a.m. CST. And then I run with the market from about 10 a.m. And then I'm on all the way till about 1 p.m. CST. And that's where that little break is. And then you get the power hour team. And then we've also got Coach BluSky and Coach Breezy. So like on Tuesdays, we've got classes right after market close. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So on Tuesdays, we've got Coach Matt's or we got Coach Becky's trade psychology class. And then on Thursday, we have our mentorship class and, our basically core curriculum that happens on Thursday with Coach Matt after market close. And then we've got Coach Breezy that he's actually started a 6 p.m. lab that he does trading workshop. So he covers strategies and things of that nature at about 6 p.m. Eastern. And then we've got Coach BluSky that hosts the Asia session. So he starts at about 7 p.m. Eastern, and he runs some gold trades there through the night session. And that's the rough schedule that we adhere to every week. Yeah, that's the goal here. If more traders are successful, then it means we're successful. It's a cumulative effort. You guys are doing good. It means that we're doing our jobs. So, that stuff is super important to us. I know that the coaches take it personally. I take it personally. I know Mike does as well. That's one reason why we've got a huge education lab that's all free. The mentorship classes and everything, the trade psychology, all that stuff. What we're doing here through the live session, I mean, that's all free as well. So, and it's just an offering that, just to encourage traders. We understand ourselves, all of us are all traders as well. That's why you'll even notice, we're posting our own personal gains and losses, unlike a lot of other firms. You don't see the folks behind the scenes that are actually risking their own real money. And that's what's happening here. And we do take feedback, and we've had other members that have reached out, and they ask specifically, hey, can you expand upon this, or you think you could talk more in detail about certain aspects of the market? And we're like, yeah, great. I'm all about that. It's interesting, for it being a midday, the market is currently hovering around some massive psychology levels. The S&P is at 6,900, BTC near 69,000. Yeah, it's kind of funny, kind of funny. It's going to be an interesting week. And it's going to be an interesting week. We've got some, high stakes economics data coming out, up almost 2% from Friday's close. And the Dow is holding above 50K. That's crazy. Did you guys see that? The Dow up at 50K? The VIX fear gauge dropped significantly, down 18%, down to 17.76. Maybe that's a indication that some of the panic from last week is fading. Yes, that is the 1 minute. Yeah, I'm looking at the 1 minute because, just the moves and stuff. It is one of the chart times that I keep an eye on. Most of my entries will be on the 1 minute or the 30 second, when I take a trade. So, what are the bulls of the day? NVIDIA chips. The AI demand remains the primary engine for the tech rebound. Oracle's seen a nice 4.6% pop after a brokerage upgrade and news regarding its OpenAI partnership. Kroger up 6% on rumors of the new CEO coming over from Walmart. You guys hear about that? That's a That's an interesting situation. You know, Kroger used to be all over the place. Hey, what's up, Mr. Positive? Good to see you. Good to see you, sir. How you doing? Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Yeah, at 69 area, trying to reclaim 70K after a brutal 50% drawdown. That's crazy. That's volatility right there. And you got no circuit breakers, unlike our markets. That's just a pain that crypto space can see, though. I'm good. I'm feeling a lot better. I'm feeling a lot better. Thank you for asking. I had a rough weekend. I had this pinched nerve down my neck. I couldn't even move. I couldn't move at all. Like I was in just so much pain. Like I couldn't turn left or right. Like yesterday, the nerve came out. I started to feel a little bit of relief. And then like this in the evening, it got worse. And like today I woke up and like I got some movement back in and yeah, I'm feeling better. Yeah, I'm not sure what I did. I'm gonna definitely have to start doing some exercises. Let's get back over to no, I want to see this right now. This looks like this. Getting a little slow now. You can tell we've lost a whole lot of volume. This is the rough part of the day. So what is everybody else looking at? Anybody still in their trades from this morning? Some incredible calls from Mike yet again, just killing it. Owen's still in that trade. Fantastic. You moved it up to 380. Right on. Right on. All right. So since we're, going through the midday, what do we got going on this week? Got Tuesday, we've got retail sales, looking for growth, looking for consumer strength. Wednesday's the big one. Got January jobs reports and CPI. Yeah, those are dropping at the same time on Wednesday. So so that's gonna give us a big trend. Fed speakers. We got Waller, Bostic, and other speakers later on this afternoon. What do we have Bostic speaking today? Is that really today? Let's see. Oh yeah, we do. Wow, this thing's accurate. All right, cool. So yeah, we got Fed speakers, Waller, Bostic. They're speaking later on this afternoon. So their tone on interest rate cuts for 2026 will move the needle. So yeah, that's going to be some interesting comments coming out of them today. And then since we're waiting on jobs and CPI data, wait, listen. Yeah, we're going to probably be respecting banker levels right now because of that. That's going to weigh in significantly in the market for the time being. It's going to be a tough grind. It's just going to be slow through the afternoon. Look at that pullback. You said 380, right? It's almost the bottom of that box, though. Let's see. Oh man, that's yeah. See, there it is. Who's gonna take you out though? Well, this could make for an interesting afternoon, you know? Like if we can really get going, if we can get above that 416. Now the EMAs are crossing, so can the bulls still hold it? Continue the upward path. All right. You know what? Let's go over to MNQ because I wanna see if I can take this on an MNQ con. Or are we going long at the top and we need to wait for a further retracement? See, that's the bad thing about coming into this already late, missing it early in the day, in the morning session. You're just almost like chasing it. I was trying to make you. That's the only problem I would have with it. What's the Dow doing? The Dow already looks like it's rolling over. San Antonio. That's no bueno. It's not what we want. Looks like a bull flag though. You're on the 3. Does look a little weak though. Not gonna lie. The birds are trying to pull it down. Just how long will they sell though? Because you even have a nastier drop on it than you could get to. Oh man. If they wanted to. No, they wouldn't do that. That's too far down. It makes it harder to get on this thing. Mm. Do you know the EMAs are rolling over? Is that it? Is that it for our party? That bull train is over, huh? I'm gonna give us some selling now. Let's see how long this sells for. I need the levels off the NQ chart though. That's the only bad thing about this. I have all my stuff drawn out on NQ and not on. Oh, you know what? I'm so like, I don't know why I didn't think about this. Split chart. Dang, this has a serious free fall to it. Are they going to take it down to 354 and catch it there? Oh my God. They probably are. They're probably going to bring it all the way down to the 200 before they bounce this thing. That's disgusting. That's like another 20 points down. Jesus. Ole mole. How far down is that? That's like six. No, I don't want him to bring it down that far. Jeez. Nah, it's going to go further down. Going to hit that 200 now. Has to hit it now. Man. Right on. As it should, my friend, as it should. Come on, Bulls. They're going to break that thing. Oh, heck, that's not even really a support level there. That's just an area of resistance. So there's really nothing there to even support us. Really, it's right here. To try to take a short to the 200. Let's do it on mini micro. Let's do a tight stop. See if we can ride it to the 200 there. Oh my God. Why did I do that? It's a couple of bucks. Take a quick scalp to the downside on it and put a tight stop above there. All right, there's the bottom of the hour. Got 30 minutes of New York lunch left. Don't forget if you haven't gotten up, make sure you get up, stretch those legs, get a cup of water. And I just got stopped that on that. I'm glad I was in a small position size. Yeah, New York time frame, the New York lunch time frame. This is more. I think this is more challenging than the morning session, just because the ranges can get so tight. The consolidation, you think you're going to start breaking down. You think you can get continuation, and it just runs out of steam. So this is one of I feel this is one of the most difficult times of days. Time of day to trade. The areas before and after this, I think I feel provide a better trend. Better volume in the market. But hey, sometimes you can get some decent, moves here in the New York lunch too. So, we can't discount its necessity and sometimes its capability. Let's see here. Maybe my stop was too close. I think my stop was too close. I think that's the problem with it. Yeah, I think that was the real problem with this. My stop was just too tight, especially using a mini micro. I should have held it for a little longer. My entry wasn't bad. See, and there it goes. It's just how long will they sell it for? I won't be able to sell it long. See, and there come the buyers again. Bulls are definitely in the market today. They're not. They're not like standing by idly, letting the bears have their run of the market. Good to see you. It's good to see. This range is gonna be hard to get through, though. We already consolidated in this range before, so we'll need just as much effort to get through it again. Maybe we can get to the top of this range before the end of New York lunch. That's what I'd like to see. I don't want to see us get to the bottom of this. And there they go again. See, Bears just need to give it up. They can't take it. How far would that be? If they got it there, that would be what 20. That's right here. $2. Turn the volume down. Muted. Who's muted? I don't think we're muted. Now I see the volume there. I wrote the stream earlier. Very funny. No likes given. Very funny. Dang, they're gonna get us over the EMAs already. Boom, and there it goes. There's that rip to the upside. Said I didn't know how long they could sell us for. Do we go for this long now? We're over the. Oh, there it is. Are they gonna give us that rip now? Can they rip this thing? That's a lot of volume moved in on that. 700. Well, that was twice the selling volume right there. Those two candles. That's what it was. That's why it moved it so much better. Should ask Steve if he's still long. He's not sharing today, though. I have to go to the other channel. Oh, yeah. I see green. I see green on his chart. We know that Steve is green. Very green, in fact. Let's see what this is. 9. It's a good candle layout. I don't know about that prior one. More sellers than buyers. It's even worse. See what this thing does. Crazy. The Qs are like $1 away from like a breakout spot for me. If the Qs hit another dollar and they get a candle close above 616, you could see like a $3 move on the no, a $4 move on the Qs, which means NQ could really, really rip to the upside. You could see like that, like a pretty crazy candle move on this. Take a look at the heat map. I'm sure it's fairly green. Well, that's interesting for the S&P. Really, what is ES doing? Should be moving just as a lot of consolidation on it. Just slow stairs, stressing traders out, I'm sure, with every step. Oh man, they're gonna hit that 200, aren't they? It's right there. They gotta go for it now. They have to touch it. Oh, they're so close to it. Just do it already. I'm gonna pull it back again. Still got like 4.5 minutes on this 9 minute candle. So they could definitely push it down and pick it back up. Nasty. I just hope they don't give up the whole move today. I hope they don't give up the whole move today. That would be a shame. I don't think they will though. I think we got more of a bullish day on our hands than anything. Oh man. All right. Well, there's that big pullback. What's up, NJ? How's it going? How's your day going for you? Just watching this, trying to see if we can get under the 200. I want to see if we can get there or get under it. Although it's already kind of picked up some. It brought it up a little. It's in at 370 now, though. All right. Well, there's that 200. We got pretty darn. All right. We got to get to it now. Man, I tell you, my stop was too close. I told you guys that. I was like, man. All right. Can we hold this now? Can we hold the 200? I imagine we'll probably test it and piddle around here for a little bit before we continue back up to the upside. I just don't know how long it'll be. That's an interesting setup for New York lunch. Closure, a little bit of a pullback, come into the 200. Looks like it's going to start selling off. Often we'll sell it off into the day. It's going to be, that'd be nasty. And they can sell it down pretty low. You know what? Let me go back to the heat map. I want to see what's happening over here. Stop looking at ES. So you're trading NAS. Apple, Walmart. Didn't Apple rebound yesterday or Friday? That's what it was. See, they sold off today and they're continuing to sell off. Okay, what's Nvidia doing? NVDA holding that bull flag that's got formed. Okay, okay. What was the deal on AMZ? Let's see what AMZ is doing. Actually caught a nice bid. Probably what some of this pullback is this right here. This is it. This is it. Because this matches up exactly with the NASDAQ trade. You know that? Because this is at 11 a.m.-ish. You can see here at there's that big pullback. You get that rejection. Buyers on our side are still buying because we're like euphoric that the market is rebounding. All that underlying asset is selling. Something's catching a bid though. Those quick candles. I'm still in my longs though. I haven't gotten stopped out. Sheesh. My stop was well below. I guess really my stop should be like the 354 mark since I'm, where I'm at, where I'm sitting in my trade. I should probably make that my line in the sand. As long as we don't fall below that mark, I should be Gucci. Let's see if we have any announcements going on. Oh yeah. Our podcast is out. So we've got our new episode of the podcast. Don't forget that is out on the interwebs. You can now catch that on YouTube, Spotify, and anywhere else you listen to your podcast. So make sure you give it a listen and give us some feedback. Also, we've got like a handful of things going on for the Skycast. We're looking for questions from you all. Or if you'd like to chat, you want to come on the Skycast, chat with us, talk to us about trading, things like that. What's bugging you? If you want to have a quiet session and send your NASDAQ confessions, I've got that section going on as well. All right, team. Well, let's see. I've got about 10 minutes left of my morning session with you all. It is Monday, so I usually have my midday meetings here on Monday, so I'll be skipping out here in about 9 minutes. Unless anybody on the intrawebs or Discord or anything has any questions, you guys can drop those in before I head on out. If not, don't forget, we've got Power Hour coming up this afternoon with Coach Becky and Coach Matt. Do not want to miss the end of day play-by-play action. Here, Coach Matt's been calling out some bangers at the end of the day. I wish I could say the same about me. My middays have been rough. I'm trying to find my bearing. I'm not a good midday trader, so it's not my forte on looking at trading at this time of day. But that's an excuse. That's an excuse for now. For now, I am working on it. I still think that this is a good spot here, but will we hold? Gotta hold this EMA, gotta hold the 200. You give up the 200 and you're gonna hop, skip, and dip down further here on the market then. Yep. You could lose another 100 points on the market. That's the dangerous part about it. You think we retest 50 at least? Could be, or it could be the bottom of the 1 hour candle. That becomes like the real kind of like tricky part is like, what kind of candle are we gonna make here for the next, the next hour? Let's go take a look at the 1 hour candles and see what these are shaping out. So you've only got 7 minutes, 23 seconds left on the 1 hour candle. And look at the kind of position we're in right here. You're probably right though. Good catch on the 50, because you know what? That gives you that bottom step. You can use that 4 hour support at 354, step right off of it, and you get that next leg out of this bad boy right here. And if you can make this work, that can set you up for a nice close that you'll close right under 25,500, or maybe even tap that mid, by end of day and stuff. Get the rejection off that, and you fade that end of day. But that's if we're going to rally another 125 points. But something's got to do it. Something's got to give us the magic. Who's going to give us that firepower? Who's going to give us that oomph? Could it be Amazon? Who else has been really green today? Amazon. Meta. Let's take a look at Meta. I heard some folks talking about the Meta platform. They were having some positive news. I think their marketing stuff, the new glasses, young people are liking the Oakleys and stuff like that. So I think that's working out well for them. And their AI is actually pretty decent. Let's see, Tesla. Tesla's struggling though. Tesla's in a weird boat right now. Like, they're hoping that SpaceX is going to be their saving grace, but the problem is they're in a saturated market that's about to get a lot more saturated. Beyond is actually suing the government for tariffs. A bunch of people are suing the government about the tariffs. And we're at the point that, we're just a couple of months off from some of those court cases being seen and heard. What kind of wrench will that throw in some of those car makers' faces, and how will that affect the market? Because they're going to be able to, they're going to recite all the bans and then the tariffs, and they're going to come in with their cars that are like 18% cheaper than things we see on the road here. That's going to be a real interesting situation, But you got companies like Beyond, like they have an North America factory. Like, their EV buses are like pretty nice, and they're made in America. So, there's a will. Where there's a will, there's a way. So midway through lunch, they sold us. Well, not even that. Like right at New York lunch, it's like they turned it right off. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. How we come out of New York lunch, lights sell off. Any of you guys short the New York lunch? I'm sure somebody's short at the New York lunch. Sure, a few of y'all were like, "Oh yeah, I'm short in this." Short from 89. Nice. Expecting a decent pullback on this thing, huh? We'll see. We got 2 minutes. I'd love to see an end of day ripper though. But they could pull this thing pretty far back. And you can see the 26 right down there. It's at 23, 25, 300. You got 1 minute left. 1 minute to the end of New York lunch, team. And what a short but sweet stream this morning is for me this morning. I will definitely miss you guys. Maybe I'll pop in for power hour. I got a handful of appointments today I got to take care of. So I got my meeting. I'm gonna got to get cut. I got some photos I got to take. So I got kind of a busy afternoon that I got to kind of get some things in line that I have not had the chance to attend to, and I need to take care of them because I got people waiting on me for stuff. So got to get it into high gear. Oh man, are they gonna roll this thing over? Where's that 350? This is gross. This is terrible. Mm-mm-mm. Look at that. They just dumped it right back in. What's this thing? Well, like we said, we're going to get a pretty deep sell on this. All right, team. Well, I've got to go ahead and head on over to my meeting. So I will see you all later this afternoon for Power Hour. Don't forget, you guys can catch Coach Matt and Coach Becky here for that. And of course, we've got Coach Breezy and BluSky in for those 6 p.m. Eastern to 7 p.m. Eastern courses. So hope to see you all there. Make sure you turn your likes and subscribes on to catch more of our great content, as well as that podcast. As always, good luck on the market, team. We will see you tomorrow.